Almost ready to start this guy. The only thing I need now is another one of these. Because someone got overzealous and gave it a little too many beans. So, I'm gonna rig up what I have of the exhaust onto this guy really quick. There's some holes in the exhaust, and I need to fix the crossover to go into there somehow. I'm gonna build myself a little exhaust stand out of some scrap pieces of wood and whatever, and just strap it down really quick so I can get this thing running. I know it's not going to be running long, but I still don't want to launch exhaust gas onto my paint. So, let's get started. We are almost ready to start this thing. Clean up this guy pretty good. I think it looks alright anyway. I'm not going to do a permanent mount on it, but I need somewhere to mount the ignition coils so they're not just flopping around everywhere while this guy tries to start anyway. Right, so I'm going to finish getting these guys on, mount the ignition coils, and then see if I can't wire the rest of this guy up. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just gorgeous. Let me take you through actually what's going on and some of the precautions I was taking here. So the engine itself is very securely strapped to the stand. That's number one. I have aluminum foil around the straps, so if the exhaust gets hot, it's not going to melt that. Batteries over here. We got the fuse running to the main accessories. And then this is actually the jumper that's operating as our on-off switch. Then you have the power going to the starter switch. Starter switch, starter solenoid. Here's your main big electric cable going to the starter. You got a nice secure ground coming from here all the way back to the battery, and then the other ground is tied into the loom ground up here. Okay, so other than that, I have the key switch wired in and zip tied up here, so this is essentially your on and off for everything else. Spark plugs are in. Oil is in. Can't really see that, but yep, got a nice oil level here. That guy's in, and it's not over torqued, I promise. It's like 7 foot-pounds by the book. The last thing to do is fill up the carbs with fuel. Also, TCI, the ignition module. It's plugged into the loom. This is also why we need this jumper and the key switch, because that controls the 12 volt accessory power. Also, I have everything going through the fuse box, and I pulled every fuse except for the ignition, so nothing else like the lights, flashers, or whatever are gonna go. So we reduce at least a little bit the risk of shorting something out. Also down here, this is the pickups for the magneto down here. And the exhaust is hilarious because the rear cylinder doesn't have an exhaust pipe, so I just have this guy coming straight out. I have the other ends clamped off with some aluminum foil. So I'm forcing the rear exhaust out down to the left back there, and then the front cylinder is actually coming through back through the exhaust. If this thing fires, I'm gonna let it run for like 4 seconds and then shut it off and then go celebrate. But if it doesn't run, I don't know really what else to do. Maybe I'm missing something else, but or we can switch the ignition coils, because maybe I did get them backwards. Maybe, I don't know. I told you guys before I don't know what I'm doing, right? Because I don't. All right. On switch. And okay, I got the old trusty voltmeter out, and turns out that fuse was in the wrong spot, so we weren't getting voltage to our main 12 volt DC circuit, which means the TCI wasn't getting power, and so on and so forth. So let's try this again. Let's get more gas. No spark. So that's probably why. Not getting spark at all. Cool. All right, it's a couple weeks later. I had to order some parts. So this is what we got. We have the Ultima single fire coil, and I made a couple wiring changes here. So the red and white are power. I joined those together into the red wire that goes into the center. I didn't have orange and gray wires, so I put orange onto yellow and gray onto white. It's close enough, I think. So orange goes to the rear, and this is the rear. So here we go. I made up new ends for the spark plug wires to go into here, and that took me like 4 tries. Never done that before. Also, over here in the TCI, I wired in the voltage stabilizer / regulator. It looks like crap tape, but these are all those insulative butt connectors, the ones with like the basically the glue that melts out, so it weather seals it. I just taped it together to prevent the wires from flipping around. Other than that, should be good. The battery's on, the key's on. There's fuel in it, I think, from the last time. I'm not sure if it evaporated out. I should probably try to fill that out. But yeah, let's give it a shot. Yeah, this was my problem the whole time. Here's the TCI unit. And you see you have the orange, the red, white, the gray, the black and white, and the black. So black is ground, red and white is power. Orange goes to the rear coil. The gray, even though it's drawn green here because I messed up the colors, the gray goes to the front coil. So I was wondering to myself, what the heck is this black and white go? Well, it comes all the way up here. It's the side stand relay. And I was like, you know what? Let's just jump this, see what happens. Turns out it works when you do that. Yeah, this is awesome. I can button this up, take the wiring harness off, do a deep inspection on each one of these connection points. This is a jumper for the on-off switch, and then way down here by the relay box, I have the jumper for the side stand switch. And it was this guy the whole time that was preventing the TCI from actually sparking. There's the voltage regulator I put in there. It looks like crap. I'm gonna have to actually get more plugs and redo that because I hate it. Yeah. Next step, I'm gonna have to mount this guy. So I'm gonna put this little piece of angle in here, cut it, weld it just behind these bolts, and then drill a couple of holes for that to mount into. That'll look nice up there. So, with that, and one hell of a learning experience, and a very, very big special thanks to Mike from the first gen Virago owners group on Facebook. Couldn't have done this without you, for sure. I would have been struggling for at least another couple of weeks on this. So, thanks for watching.